Hello everybody, I'm making this video because I want to reflect on the big rally that happened in London, which was the Unite the Kingdom rally, and 100,000 to 200,000 people went to be at that rally to protest against things which are going on in the United Kingdom. I'll talk about all of the issues in the video, but I didn't go to it. And some people have been asking me, well, why didn't you go to it? Why weren't you there? It was a great day. And of course, it was a great day for the people in the crowd. The rally looked fantastic. The sea of flags, British flags, English, Scottish, Welsh, Northern Irish flags was wonderful. And almost everybody there was peaceful. They were just patriots who love their country and who, you know, as I do, and want to restore our nation. But I didn't go to it. And there are three reasons why. And I just want to tell you why I didn't go. So, you know, to give an answer to the people who have been asking me why I wasn't there. Why wasn't I on the stage with all the other people and so on, or even in the crowd? Because I used to be in the freedom rallies. I went to every single freedom rally against lockdowns, against coercion, to get experimental injections for 2 years, from Easter of 2020 to the summer of 2022. But I didn't go to this one. There's three reasons. First reason is, for me, September is actually a really, really busy month. And I went to the March for Life rally in central London last weekend on the 6th of March. And I'm actually organising the Heritage Party conference, which is this Saturday coming, the 20th of September. You know, this is going to be in Newport in Wales. We have a great lineup of speakers. So I'm doing a lot of work at the moment to organize all of these things. And this is going to be another fantastic day, actually. If you can make it to the Heritage Party conference. It's our 5th anniversary conference. We've got Isabel Vaughan-Spruce coming to speak on pro-life issues. She is an absolute hero who was arrested for praying silently in her head outside an abortion center. Kate Shemirani, who was at the freedom rallies, speaking at many of them against lockdowns back in the day. And Kim Isherwood, fighting degeneracy in schools, trying to protect our children. Jason Barker, an activist against wind turbines and all of this net zero nonsense, and many, many other people, some of them there, some of them not on this little graphic, but it's going to be a fantastic day. So I've got a lot to do to organize this conference, which is coming up. So if you had a good day at the Unite the Kingdom rally on the 13th of September, you know, there's another good day coming up this weekend if you can make it to the Heritage Party conference in Newport in Wales this coming weekend. So that's one reason. The second reason is very different. Although the marching was wonderful, I saw that on the stage. It was a party political event. Tommy Robinson, as he's called, and Elon Musk, as he interviewed, are supporting a different party, which is not even registered with the Electoral Commission yet, called Advance. And they had its leader, Ben Habib, on the stage. I wasn't invited to join the stage. They are promoting another party, even though the Heritage Party has been going for 5 years. And this is a very new thing. We have been fighting all of these things, you know, mass immigration, the net zero nonsense, rapid, how rampant development on our green belt, the attack on farmers, the financial irresponsibility, the degeneracy in schools, you know, the LGBT promotion to children, all of these things we've been fighting as the Heritage Party for years. And I was in the London Assembly questioning Sadiq Khan for many years before that as well. I've been actively involved in politics for 10 years. And Ben Habib there, I like him. I used to see him around the green room in GB News before programs when I used to get invited on there. I don't get onto GB News anymore. I think I've been cancelled. And I haven't said this before, but I did reach out to him and I asked him if he would like to join the Heritage Party on a number of occasions. He wasn't interested. He did other things, which of course he's allowed to do. But But when he's on the stage and he says, where are all the other politicians? I'm the only politician here. No one else is here. Well, I think that's quite disrespectful because, well, number one, I wasn't invited, so that's the reason why there was no one else there, because he is being specifically promoted by Tommy Robinson to the detriment of anyone else who is fighting the same battle. So, as you know, it's a bit ironic saying this is Unite the Kingdom when he's actually just promoting one person, but then, you know, not giving me a platform, which of course he's allowed to do. You can platform whoever you want and no platform whoever you want. But please don't say, you know, where is everybody else when I wasn't even invited to be on the stage because they're promoting a different challenger party that doesn't want to work with me or the Heritage Party, even though we've been fighting all of these same issues and more for 5 years. So that's the second reason that I wasn't there. I hope that makes sense. The third reason, with Tommy Robinson, Stephen Yaxley Lennon, 90% of what he says I think is fantastic, but there's always a little barb in there where he's trying to get in some promotion of Israel, you know, being partisan on what's happening in the Middle East. And, you know, my view on this is that just keep this out of British politics and British life, because I know in the freedom movement people have very strong opinions either way. Some are rabidly pro-Israel and some people are rabidly pro-Palestine, and it's very, very, you know, very strong opinions on both sides. And I've tried to stay out of it completely, but I couldn't after September, the 7th of October 2023. That dreadful day, obviously, that started off the new war, really, in Gaza and the Middle East, and many different wars going on there, because people want to know what I think. So I just said what I really think about things. You know, what Hamas did was dreadful, but they were allowed to cross the most secure border fence in the world, very, very bizarrely. You know, that the Israeli Defense Force stood down for 7 hours at the exact time when Hamas were crossing the border. That doesn't make sense, to, you know, kidnap people. But then the response to that from the state of Israel is horrendous. You know, they're essentially now committing genocide against the Palestinian people in Gaza. And there are Muslims and Christians in Palestine. There are more Palestinian Christians than Israeli Christians. So, you know, it's not just the case that it's a Muslim terrorist state, which is what it's being presented as to the right by people who are funded by Zionist organizations and pro-Israel organizations. That's my position. I can see that quite clearly. But I don't want Palestine marches, Israel marches, India, Pakistan, Turkey, Kurdistan, whatever. I don't want foreign marches in the streets of London, but while people are here, they have freedom of speech, and we have to respect the freedom of speech of everybody on all sides. And what has been disturbing, I find, is that people on the right are holding up a mirror to the cultural Marxist left and saying those people are not allowed to have freedom of speech because they're hate marches, and we're going to proscribe them as terrorists and so on if they support Palestine. But the Tommy Robinson stage display at this Unite the Kingdom rally went even further than that, and he brought a group of people in from New Zealand to rip up the Palestine flag. This happened on the stage at the rally here.
Finish your power, nation! Rip it up, boys! That's how it should be. Now, I want to finish your power, nation.
So there was supposedly a Christian pastor from New Zealand with a group of bare-chested Maoris ripping up a Palestine flag on the stage at the United the Kingdom rally. What on earth has that got to do with the United Kingdom? I find that quite disturbing. It's obviously partisan. It's obviously supporting one side in the Middle East. But that went on further, and supposedly this supposed Christian pastor was actually praying against Palestine and cursing the whole nation of Palestine, which I think is is horrible. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. Because, okay, you can condemn Hamas, no problem if that's what you do. I would condemn both Hamas and the Israeli Defense Force, because they're both killing civilians on either side. The Israeli Defense Force obviously is killing hundreds of thousands times more civilians than Hamas is doing. But for someone to be on the stage at a rally about uniting the United Kingdom, ripping up a Palestine flag, and then having someone who says they're a Christian cursing the whole nation, where 10% of that nation is actually Christian itself, and the oldest churches in the world are in Palestine and Syria. All the churches in Gaza have been bombed by the Israeli Defense Force. Israel, the nation of Israel, the settlers coming over, are burning down Christian villages in the West Bank. They're taking land, stealing homes and land from Palestinians in the West Bank, regardless of whether they're Muslim or Christian. Israel is bombing Christian villages in Lebanon and is in the process of balkanizing Syria, has balkanized Iraq beforehand, and is champing at the bit to go to war with Iran, which would create a refugee crisis which is bigger than everything that we've seen so far or put together over the last 10 years. When you're there supporting that nation and cursing Palestine, I think that's absolutely wrong and ignorant. And I'm glad I wasn't on the same stage where that took place, because it's got nothing to do with the UK. And, as I said, people have got very strong opinions on both sides about the Middle East. But all I want is for people to stop killing each other. And we need to recognize who is doing most of the killing at the moment. And it's not Palestine. It is actually the state, the 1948 state of Israel. So they would need stronger condemnation than Palestine. I think it's absolutely wrong to rip up the Palestine flag there. And so that's the third reason I didn't go. I was a little bit concerned there were going to be lots of Israeli flags in the audience. There weren't, actually. I think they did a good job of keeping them out. But they were last time, and they got a lot of criticism for that. So I think they did have some people actually making sure that it was just British, English, Scottish, Welsh, Northern Irish flags among the crowd. But then they ruined it all by having, this supposed pastor, it looks a bit like a fake pastor to me, because there's none of the love of Jesus for Palestinian Christians and the people who are suffering at the moment in that pretty horrendous display on the stage there at the Tommy Robinson rally. So there you go. I'm glad I wasn't connected with that. So those are the three reasons why I didn't go, why I wasn't there. But this is absolutely no criticism of any of the people in the crowd. They're wonderful, wonderful people who love this country and who want to take our country back and kick out the Starmer regime, as we've kicked out the fake conservatives and put in good government in this country. So I'll finish off again just to remind you, the Heritage Party conference is coming up on Saturday. So if you want another good day full of people who are going to or have been fighting to restore our nation and just make us a nation which is common sense and prosperous and feels good again, please come and join me and all these people here at the Heritage Party conference on Saturday. Join me, join the Heritage Party as well as a member. You can see all of our manifesto. You can get the link to buy tickets and read all about the Heritage Party at heritageparty.org. That's our website, heritageparty.org. Have a look and come and join me as we seek to restore our nation. Thanks for listening, everybody. God bless you all.